This is the CYBPULTE C011 portable power station. Key features on paper are strong. 3 AC outlets, MPPT solar input, 400 watts AC recharging, car charging, a backlit LCD with runtime estimates, and a built-in LED light with SOS. In my opinion, this lands in that sweet 1 kilowatt-hour zone that's big enough to matter in an outage or on a trip, yet still manageable to carry. I had a few doubts before spending time evaluating it. A lot of mid-size stations are either too loud under load or cut corners on USB-C power. Also, some claim fast AC charging but heat up too much. From my experience with similar Li-Fi FiO4 stations, and based on this model's specs and verified user feedback, the C011 feels like a practical tool rather than a flashy gadget. On shape and feel, the design leans industrial and compact. It's roughly 9.8 by 9.4 by 7.7 inches and about 25 pounds. So it's dense, but not awkward. The handle is rigid and confidence-inspiring with very little flex when lifted. The housing blends ABS with a metallic alloy structure, and the venting is generous on both sides to help airflow. The buttons for AC, DC, and USB sit slightly recessed so you don't accidentally bump them when grabbing gear nearby. The LCD is bright and easy to read indoors or in a shaded campsite, and the readouts you actually need, battery percentage, input-output watts, and estimated runtime, are front and center. The layout of ports makes sense. 3 AC outlets grouped together, USB and DC ports arranged so you can cable up a laptop, phone, and a 12-volt accessory without tangling everything in one corner. Real-world experience is where 1 kilowatt-hour units rise or fall. The C011's 1000-watt continuous inverter with a 2000-watt surge gives you headroom for those brief startup spikes you see with small compressors, blenders, or fridge compressors. Pure sine wave means the AC it outputs is smooth like household power, which keeps sensitive stuff, CPAPs, audio gear, variable speed motors, happy and quiet. The 1008 watt-hour battery translates to simple planning. Think 100 watts for roughly 10 hours, 50 watts for about 20 hours, and so on, before inverter losses. A typical overnight setup for me is a Wi-Fi router, a lamp with an LED bulb, and phone charging. That kind of 30 to 60 watt draw barely dents the pack across a night. A CPAP without a heated humidifier is also realistic for an overnight run. Small kitchen bursts are fair game too. Coffee makers often pull close to 700 to 900 watts for a few minutes, which the C011 can handle within its continuous rating. Charging is straightforward. On AC, it takes up to 400 watts and goes from empty to full in about 4 hours. That's not the absolute fastest out there, but in return, the unit stays calmer firmly during the charge cycle. Solar charging uses an MPPT controller, which is the smart way to harvest sun efficiently as light conditions change. Car charging is there when you're moving between stops. One thing I really appreciate is the 140-watt USB-C PD 3.1 port with input and output. That means I can charge modern high-performance laptops directly at full speed without their big bricks, and I can also top the station up with a high-watt USB-C charger in a pinch. It's more efficient for laptops to go DC to DC over USB-C than to convert from the battery to AC and back down to DC through the laptop adapter. Noise and heat management are solid for this size. At light loads, the fans either don't come on or they spin quietly, which is what you want if you're using it in a bedroom for a CPAP or in a small van at night. When you're charging at the full 400 watts or pushing close to the 1000-watt limit, the fans are clearly audible. But I'd call it a controlled whoosh rather than a harsh whine. The vents keep warm air moving, and the areas you touch, the handle, the screen surround, don't get uncomfortably hot in normal use. What I like most, and why I think it clicks, comes down to a few practical wins. The Life PO4 chemistry is the right choice for safety and longevity. Life PO4 cells are more thermally stable than older lithium-ion types, and typically last for thousands of cycles, so you get a longer service life and less stress about storage in a closet or vehicle. The 140-watt USB-C PD is a standout because it matches what modern laptops actually need, and it simplifies the whole kit I carry. The display shows the information that matters at a glance, especially the estimated time remaining that updates as your load changes. The 3 AC outlets are enough for a small home base, a campsite table, or a mobile edit setup without resorting to a big power strip. The LED utility light with steady, strobe, and SOS modes is one of those nice-to-have touches that ends up being genuinely useful while setting up camp after dark or during an outage. And the overall build gives me confidence it can live in a van cabinet or a garage shelf without feeling fragile. There are trade-offs. At about 25 pounds, it's not something I want to hand carry for long distances, even though the form factor is compact. The 400 WAC charging time of roughly 4 hours isn't the quickest available, but it's a reasonable balance for battery health and heat. And the 1000-watt ceiling means it's not meant for heaters, big hair dryers, or power-hungry air conditioners. In my opinion, that's a fair set of limits for a one-person carry unit. It's perfect for people who need reliable portable power for camping, RV weekends, road trips, storm prep, and creative work on location. From my experience with similar 1 kilowatt-hour LifePO4 stations and the way this one is configured, the C011 sits right in that everyday ready category. Keep it topped up, throw it in the car when you head out, and trust it when the lights go out. I'd recommend this for anyone who wants safer chemistry, fast and modern USB-C capability, a clean sine wave inverter, and recharge flexibility without stepping up to a heavier two-person unit. In conclusion, the CYBPULTE C011 feels like a well-rounded 1 kilowatt-hour power station that favors durability, safety, and real usability over flashy specs. The combination of LifePO4, a 1000-watt pure sine inverter with 2000-watt surge, a true 140-watt USB-C PD port, and a clear, helpful display hits the right notes for home backup and outdoor life. If you can live with the weight and you don't need to power resistive heaters or big AC units, it's a smart, dependable choice. To learn more about the CYBPULTE C011, please check the comments section. Thank you for watching.